Hey guys, this is Michelle Kennedy. Um, I ran a workshop last night at our Chema Club and promised the members that I would put together a very brief tutorial on color changing in Adobe Photoshop. So this is my attempt. Um, Hopefully this works okay and my kids don't interrupt the recording for the 50th time. Anyways, here we go. So I'm just going to open up Photoshop. Now I've picked two different images for a couple of reasons. This one I'm just going to do a basic hue saturation change to show you what you can do, and this one I'm going to use the colorize option and I will show you why. So I'm going to start with this one. Now I'm doing this pretty quickly, so um, it's not going to be perfect. So I'm using the quick select tool over here, and I'm just going to make a selection of what I want to color change. I'm including the belt just for time reasons basically, but because it's silver and white, it's not affected a great deal. Okay, so once I've selected my dress, I'm just going to take that back off the arm because we don't want to change the skin. There we go. Pretty happy with that. Going to use this select and mask button up the top here. Now what this does is refines the selection. Now normally I would work with the red overlay, but because the dress is red, I'm going to work with the onion skin. Just helps you see what you're selecting. Now using this refine edge tool over here, I'm just going to paint around any tricky bits like hair. You could do this if they had jewelry or if the seams were a bit messy. So you're just refining your edge to make sure the selection's what you want. That looks pretty good. Um, Down here in the Output 2 section, I select New Layer with Layer Mask and then click OK. So what that does is it creates a new layer of the image. It's a duplicate copy of the bottom layer, but it's applied a mask, so the only thing you can see is the dress. This is obviously still there, so you can still see the whole image. The next thing we're going to do is pop on an adjustment layer, a hue saturation adjustment layer. If I just start moving these sliders around, you'll see that it's changing everything, which isn't what we want. We want just to affect the dress. So we're going to clip it to this layer. You can either press this square with the arrow here, you can hold the Alt key and click between the two layers like this, or you can right click and say create clipping mask. And that will clip it to the layer that we've created with the dress selected. Now I can go ahead and move my sliders and change the color of the dress she is wearing. There we go. The beauty of doing it this way is that you can come back at any time and decide to change the color to something else. If I was preparing this for competition or not just doing a quick tutorial, I would actually remove the red glow that's on her skin so that it looks more natural and goes with the dress. So that's one option. Now the other image I have here, I picked this because it's got lace section and you can see skin through that. So using the quick selection tool again, just go over the dress. Just going to paint it back off the thumb, the arm, and anywhere else we don't want it. That looks pretty good. Okay, then go up to the select and mask button to refine the edge. I'm just going to swap that to the red overlay. Now, as you can see, all the skin is selected underneath that, which we don't really want to do. So using this refine edge tool again, we're just going to paint over those sections that have a see-through part. And this will just create the mask so that on these sections it's not as harsh, if not see-through altogether. So let's quickly paint over these. Again, I'm being pretty rough with my selections here, but you'll get the idea. And we want to do the bits around the back near the background and down here on the leg. We go, and on the stool. Okay, there we go. Now we can go ahead and do a new layer with layer mask again. Click OK. There you have it. So it's done quite a good job of taking these sections out where the skin's coming through. So now we want to add our hue saturation layer here and clip it again. Now I just want to show you what happens when I use the sliders. So you'll see when I start to get up around the reds that the skin starts to change to a green, and that's because the skin color is still coming through underneath slightly and it's changing the hue of the skin. So what we need to do is click the colorize button so that those shadowy parts that have a glow change color. Now you can move your sliders to a color that better suits what you're going for until you're happy with it. One of the advantages of colorize is that you can change a black shirt to a color if your model's not wearing what you like or doesn't suit the scene that they're in. And the other thing you can do is change your color to black by taking the entire saturation out and then just changing the lightness level so it looks more realistic. So there you have it, a couple of ways for you to color change something in Photoshop. Use this on anything, it doesn't have to just be on a dress. You could do it to the apple, you could do it to hair, you could do it to anything really. So I hope that helps, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to contact me. Cheers guys.